Good afternoon. I'm Dan Navarre, as the Vice President and Managing Partner at Century 21 Realty Masters and the Vice President of the Greater Downey Association of Realtors. We are here at the Green Olive in Downey, at the Downey Promenade, with our third edition of Lunch with the Top Producer. My co-host?
Ruben Sariñana with Century 21 A Better Service, and I'm also a Downey Association Director. And with us is
Ray Penado, the RP Group, Lotus Group Real Estate. Thank you very much, guys, for having me.
It's an honor to
Excited
have you. We'll look forward to talking to you. Come on in.
Thank you. Let's do lunch.
Let's do it.
Well, we're here today with Ray Penado from the Lotus Group, a consistent top producing agent for the Downey Association of Realtors and the #1 agent of the Lotus Group. So I'd like to start, Ray, by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get in the business?
Well, military background. First job ever was U.S. Navy.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I did 8 years active.
Oh, wow.
Traveled all over the world. Been everywhere and through a lot. Originally from LA, South Central, military, and then from the military, or during my military time, I also was a full-time student. I got my computer and electronics engineering, which I never used, but I don't know, it just I wanted to move back to LA because I was living in San Diego at the time, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't really get a job out there, and I was living out there, so it just kind of fell in my laps, and somehow I signed up with Remax online back in the days.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Maria Olmos was the instructor. I did a 6-month course. I passed my exam on the first try, and after that, like on the 8th or 9th month, I did my first transaction, and I was like, this is kind of easy, you know? I mean, not that it is, but at that time, coming from the military, they own you 24/7, you know?
So you were there, you said your first transaction, how long did it take?
About 8-9 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but 6 months was the training.
Okay.
And then they throw you out, and you got to go do your thing.
Yeah, because sometimes people think that they're going to get business as soon as they walk in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they want to see it the first,
Yeah.
and they get frustrated, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People get frustrated, and they're like 2 weeks into it, a month into it, sometimes even 60 days into it,
Yeah.
and then they want to throw in the towel.
Yeah. And
What can you tell those people, the people that
well, just stay consistent. That's the key. That's one of the things that I tell my team as well, and I follow. As long as you're consistent and put it in time on a daily basis, you should do good. You know, my first transaction, like I said, I think I locked it in like on the 8th or 9th month.
Right.
But then it just everything started like just trickling in. Like I killed one street, 91st and Figueroa, I remember, in South Central, and I picked up 3 listings, and then I sold someone else's listing there. So I did 4 transactions in a period of like 4 months in the same street, on the same neighborhood.
Wow.
And
That
was
was in the area that you were raised and grew up.
I grew up on 74th and Figueroa.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Down the
Very
street.
familiar, right?
There's Tapatio. I used to get kicked out by the security.
Oh, is that right?
Wow.
Passing out the
Wow.
flyers.
Now it's a numero uno. It used to be
Okay,
Tapatio
okay.
back then.
Let me ask you, what is it that got you your first transaction? What type of prospecting got you going?
Just face to face, talking to people. Not that I was that knowledgeable at that time. I was fresh, you know. So I didn't know much about the product.
So it was
but
passing out flyers?
Passing out flyers and cards. Yeah, and just being in front of people and talking to them. And you know, I guess I'm a likable guy.
So you started interacting with the public there, and then
Yeah.
they gave you the opportunity.
They gave me the opportunity, exactly.
Oh, that's
so
good.
then ever since then, I mean, year 1, I kind of started my team as well. Of course, I've gone through a lot of people, a lot of team members, but now this year, I just got more focused, and I only have the right people around me, and you know, just things are just like, it seems like they're just falling into place
Outstanding.
automatically, but we're working very hard, you know.
So how long have you been in the business now? Since the
I'm gonna have 13 years.
13 years.
Let me ask you,
August.
13 years. Let me ask you 2 questions, twofold. How long did it take you before you started to build that team? And tell us a little bit about your team. How many members? What are their obligations,
Yeah.
etc.?
The current team, or just a team? The current team? Probably about a year now.
Okay.
10 months to 12 months or so. And I've, probably gone through 12, 15 people. And just a couple months ago, we were up to 11, and we're down to 6 solid. Because we don't want no one to be getting in our way, you know what I mean? But Their duties is mainly everyone's like my assistant. Okay. Um, it's mainly they get assigned to a transaction. I generate on a monthly basis probably over 350 leads, and I get a lot of phone calls, sign calls, referrals, past clients, right? And that's I feed my team members, but all I expect them to do is follow up, convert, of course, and then follow the admin side of the transaction during an escrow. Aside from that, I'm always the face. I'm always the guy on the contracts, and but it works out because I consider my team a little spoiled. They don't have to be out there under the sun
absolutely.
struggling,
Absolutely.
We have a nice
Right.
office as well, and I provide all the tools and everything that they need to perform.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now your office is you out of Downey, out of the Downey Lotus Group?
Out of Downey Lotus Group, yeah, on Florence, correct.
Right.
Do you feel that the group that you have now has solidified like the direction that you want? I know that you said that you since you give them the leads, are there any of the team members that are specifically for buyers, specifically for sellers?
Yeah, at the point where we're at right now with the team, let's say out of the 6 members, 2 of them I'm trying to convert them into listing agents.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I got a 5:30 listing appointment that was set up by one of my team members today.
Outstanding.
And one of my other members, I'm turning them into like a finder, for flippers, because my niche is investments. It always has been. And then the rest of the team, you could say, is buyer's agents.
Okay.
Yeah. But everyone makes their checks off of buyer's agents right now as they're learning or finding their own little niche. So,
How many transactions were you able to close in the year 2016?
in 2016, I think it was 44.
44.
44.
And
Yeah.
of that 44, what percentage would you say was buyers versus sellers?
Probably like 60% was buyers. That other 40% was listings.
Okay.
Yeah. This year we're looking at. My goal is to do about 100.
Okay.
We're probably gonna hit about 80, unless third and fourth quarter
Picks up a lot.
picks up a lot, which normally they do, right?
Yeah.
I love fourth quarter for sure, but right now we're probably about 20 transactions already.
Okay.
And we probably have between 11 and 14 open escrows.
Nice.
And probably working with, I know it sounds like a lot, but we probably have like over 30 approved buyers right now within the team.
Wow.
So it's all about shopping, taking them shopping, that's it.
Now to generate that many leads, what is it you do? Prospecting. What type of prospecting?
I spend on marketing on a monthly basis right now. I'm like at $3,900. If I get stronger team members or we grow as a team bigger,
Right.
I don't mind. We started with I remember $1,600 at the beginning of the year, and as we progress and I feel that we could take on more work.
Sure.
I started investing more. I got 3 Mojo accounts going.
Okay.
We love cold calling, and of course I'm a listing agent. Always have been. So and I do flips, and investors use me a lot as well to list their properties.
Excellent.
So a lot of sign calls. So where do I generate my leads? Mainly, I'm paying for marketing. A lot, a good 20-30% come from sign calls.
So the marketing that you pay for, is it internet based? Is it flyer distribution? Is
A little bit of both, like
postcards?
like 3,200 is internet,
Okay.
and the rest is mail outs. We target. We do more of a target marketing, not just we don't just blast the whole
So you
city.
you get a excuse me, you get a listing, and then you just send out maybe just listed cards or
Yeah, or just sold, or if we're looking for investments and we target who we're gonna mail it to. So
Right.
we don't send it to the whole block, but we'll send a solid 900
Sure.
postcards to 900 right people.
which is the criteria that you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And that's mainly it. But right now, everyone and the team has the experience. Even my newest member, that's maybe 3.5 months with me with the team. He just closed yesterday his third transaction.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Third
great.
transaction, yeah.
Really
And
good.
just yesterday, I have a flip in the Souza where we're double ending it because he picked up actually 2 buyers for our listing, which is my flip as well.
Yeah.
And so he just, we just opened up escrow yesterday as well. So he's on his 4th escrow. 3 of them already closed.
Let me ask you a question. I get this question asked to me a lot. When did you know that it was time for you to form a team?
And how is it that you actually got, I guess, exposed to that? Because
Yeah.
not too many people,
Right.
know that you could build a team
Yeah.
if it's worth doing.
Well, I come from a military background, so I was used to running divisions.
Okay.
Towards
What was your rank?
I got out as an E5.
Okay.
Okay. And so I used to run divisions. I was defense finance. I always worked like in an office, behind a computer, AC.
Yeah.
Never would get dirty. And but I always had, when I started, I would be under people, and then eventually, as I picked up rank, I would have people under me.
Okay.
And I was always used to just delegating.
Tasks.
Yeah, tasks. Yes, exactly. So.
Right.
So it was always easier, and I felt that we would be able to work more in volume. So it's always been my mentality. That's why year 1, I remember having like 6 members
Wow.
in my team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it just came naturally because of the military background that you have.
Correct. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question: do you have, since I'm assuming that there's a regiment that you have every day, a schedule, if you will, of how you do things,
Like a
right?
system?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a system, like when you wake up and
Your daily
you
plan.
know your daily.
We do. It's very hard for everyone to follow it.
Yes.
Because whether it's because they have an early appointment, they can't be there for that meeting or so, or we got showings, whatever the case is, it's hard to follow. But I try to spend time one-on-one with every team member. I'll sit down and whether it's teach them how to work more efficient on the MLS, to take someone shopping, or how to write up offers faster, or we're role playing and talking about what to say, what not to say, how to convert
Yes.
as well, because we get so many leads that come in through the phone. I mean, I carry on 2 phones, it's like, and then the office phone rings off the hook too. So, but at this point right now, everyone is so good. Even the you can say the youngest or the newest member,
Which is that guy
has-
3.5, right?
yeah, he has an experience of maybe like a 2-year-old agent.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
sometimes my guys go down to the pit, and not to say anything about those guys, but it's like, oh, you're on that transaction, I'm already on this one, and I'm only 3 months in or so. So it makes a big difference, and that's what the team appreciates, because they start comparing themselves to other people around, and they talk to other agents, of course, and then they start asking. I tell them, ask them questions. How long have you been in the business? What's your goal for this year? Because I know my team members, like even the newest guy, I want him to close 10, for the year.
So the regiment, is there? What are the expectations for like walk us through like in the morning,
Yeah.
towards the afternoon? How does that look?
Well, normally everyone is at the office around 8:39.
Okay.
I normally get there around 7:30, only because I could knock out a lot of my personal work
Sure.
and files, a lot of follow-up and counters, because once the team comes in, they start asking questions. They're knocking on my office door. Ray, I need help with this. Ray, let's review the appraisal. Let's review
Right.
the home inspection. They already know the steps, but they doubt themselves because they're so new. And aside from that, throughout the day, I mean, everything picks up so easy. Sometimes when there's downtime, I just gather everyone. And I'll put like $100 on the table, and I say whoever sets up 3 appointments within the next hour gets it. And it's funny because I've had people go to 6 in one day.
Really?
Yeah, and if this guy gets 6 and this girl gets 3 and this other person gets another 2, that's a lot of appointments.
Yes.
So I have 2 lenders in house just for my team.
Okay.
And they're knocking them out too, just pre-screening on the phone and bringing them in.
Excellent.
Well, you touched on something right now, and you said a lender.
Yeah.
That brings a question to me and says, is it important to have a team of vendors that you can trust? How many vendors did you have to go through before you could say, and how often do you switch
Yeah,
them?
switch 'em.
Because sometimes in our business it's required,
Yeah.
because they get a little lazy perhaps, or perhaps they get
settle
too
lazy,
busy,
yeah. Correct.
or they feel entitled, right?
Right, yeah.
And so
Well, I'm cutthroat, male, female, because of my military background again. I really don't care, and I have a sailor mouth, So if something goes wrong, I mean, even though they have a desk in my office, I'll pull a file, no hard feelings. Everyone knows me, or if I see one of my agents not converting correctly, and that's a solid buyer, I'll move it to someone more seasoned or experienced.
yeah,
No hard feelings, But
and everybody's aware.
everyone's aware. Yeah.
So it's not like they take it personal because they know
Exactly.
that they're not meeting the quota.
Exactly.
Now, let me ask you a question. For a new person starting out, you say you had a guy 3.5 months, already
Yeah.
closing his third transaction.
Yeah.
What do you tell them? What do you tell a new person starting out?
What would I tell a new person or
Yeah,
not
someone
in my
like-
team?
Not in
Yeah.
your team. Like, let's say I got
Come talk to you.
Join my team.
No, I honestly, like, now I don't recruit part-timers anymore.
Okay.
I want full-timers. That's
So
it.
why not part timers?
I've had not bad experience, but just the time that they put in, and I'm giving them these leads.
Sure.
And it doesn't make sense if they can't call the lead till after 3 or till after 5,
Correct.
and I give them the lead at 12.
Okay. So you find it harder for a part timer to be more effective
And convert,
than
yeah.
it was as a full timer.
Yeah, exactly. And the full-timer is always more hungry because they need to create that check.
So what do you tell your new person?
I actually tell them I need you to quit your job within the next 3 weeks or 4.
Okay.
That's it. Within a month, you gotta be full-time, or maybe you should think of staying over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then, but I also help them. I help them generate that first escrow that they're gonna close,
Sure.
and it gives them that security that they're looking for
amazing.
to be able to do that transition.
So the people that you have, is there the compensation? Does it work in a salary base or is it more commission based?
Everyone's commission based,
Okay.
including my TC. Everyone's commission based.
Wow.
No one's on some type of salary or bonus, anything
Right.
like that at all. And as a matter of fact, like I tell them, 80 to 90% of your business that you're going to do this or close this year is going to come from me. So that 10-20% that's going to come from you, it's still the same cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they know.
There is no difference,
Okay.
and everyone is on the same.
Okay, so we just finished a great lunch here at Green Olive with Ray and Ruben here.
Excellent.
Ray, just in closing, what kind of tips can you tell our audience out there on how to get going, how to make it big in this business like you?
I mean, all I could say is, work hard, be consistent, don't give up so easily. Especially in this business, we're commission based. Even if you were to get lucky and something lands on your lap on month number 1, it's still going to take 30 to 45 days, you could say, to close. So
That's right.
that's a month and a half later, you're going to start seeing a check. So normally it takes about 3 months. I mean, that I see people turning around and making a check about 3 months. So just stick to it, stay focused, and don't get sidetracked, because we can get sidetracked real easily. So aside from that, I mean, any work, any job, you have to work. I mean, that's why it's
right.
called work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not something that's easy.
All right. Well, on behalf of the Greater Downey Association of Realtors, Ruben, and myself, we want to thank you for taking time out of your
sir.
busy day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
to help
Absolutely.
us.
Thank you, Ray.
guys.
And thank
Appreciate
you,
it. Ray Penado, don't forget.
Lotus Group.
The Lotus Group.
The RP group.
RP Crew.